got me frozen and so better leave. I'ma swap it for time and that's take it from me. More Jedi based in 2 days, I'm on 3, I'm gone. Palomino Patron, Cappuccino Tuton, Alameda song. Stack it up, stack it up.
What's up? What's up, everybody? It is I, Circa and Jedi. How's it going, fellers?
Doing well. Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
sir.
And then we've got with us a fellow Pitian, a deep member of the pit, a friendship formed in the heat of a burning bull market. Our good buddy, JC Denton. How's it going, JC?
What's up? I'm good.
I like your PFP here. What is that?
That's JC Denton.
That's you?
It's actually you.
Oh, wow. All right, cool.
I never knew that.
Well, guys, we're going to get into it. If you are watching this and you're not in the pit, go to hxro.com, click community, and join the Discord where you can meet such interesting characters as JC Denton, Jedi, and Jewbacca, and maybe me, piece of toast. But let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about and we don't want to waste any time. So let's switch over to a chart view. And I have a fundamental question to ask you guys. Did you buy the dip?
A little bit. I mean, I'm short in the wrong way. I'm short S&P right now, and I'm like slightly long a couple of shit coins because of the Tether FUD. But it's not looking good for me right now. I should have just done the opposite.
You're saying you should have
longed the S&P and continued to short shit coins.
But the S&P isn't decentralized.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, it goes against the ethos of why we're even here. So
it's also not censorship resistant.
Yeah, it's true.
The S&P.
But what about trading the S&P on chain?
Holy hell! What the fuck?
Yeah.
What, dude?
Yeah. What's going on?
What?
It didn't do what you said it was going to do.
Those arrows aren't playing out.
This squiggle is horribly invalidated.
The arrows are not playing out.
Yeah, dude. Damn, I should have made them thicker. Wow. Wow. What, dude, are we going to all-time highs here?
That's what it feels like.
Wow.
Nvidia is also absolutely just killing it. I was
check out Nvidia.
I was short Nvidia, and then I was like, maybe I should close this, and thank God I did.
Yeah.
A few streams back, I was like, we don't think Nvidia is going to go to 2 trillion market cap, do we?
Well,
I remember that.
What about AMD? Is AMD catching a bit of a bit?
Also catching, yeah. Also.
Really?
Mm.
And we lost the render correlation, huh?
Yeah, render's effed, dude. Let's go to render.
Don't you guys find it super interesting how like this market is absolutely just ridiculous, and the crypto market is just the exact opposite at the moment?
Yeah, the decorrelation.
It's the most ridiculous thing. Like during the bear on all of this TradFi stuff, we were sucking the hind tit, and then it turns around and we're sucking the hind tit even harder.
It's really funny, actually. I'm going to put aside the LARPing as a bull for a second and just say it's hilarious that this is the decoupling. There's nothing funnier. We dunked on TradFi for ages.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially after the banks collapsing, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we decoupled to the upside for a bit on this rally.
Which rally?
Well, this whole like bear rally that we've had, yeah.
After the USDC thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, as it turns out, this looks like it was the top, at least for now. Evidence for that came in the other day when we significantly broke a lot of major supports, and now we're just kind of consolidating underneath on BTC. Alts have all been sent to hell for the most part. What does total 3 look like right now? I mean, total 2.
I love
dude.
that.
1 to 5
think-
weeks. How many weeks did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was wrong. It was alt season. It's been alt season for like 9 weeks.
I think everything sends from here.
Yeah, that's on total.
Pull up the Circa tweet about the foundation selling.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They
I like
definitely mark the tops. Cairo Crypto actually posted a really cool post this morning, my time, and he basically put a whole list of stuff out there in terms of what marks the top. And one of his points is foundation. When they sell, that's a top.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget
If
that.
only someone had made us a presentation with all of this top indicators. Yeah, I'm pulling up that Hxro tweet now. But yesterday, just to illustrate, was it yesterday that we got the FOMC?
Yeah.
It was, right? Yeah.
It was.
So this, I believe, is it. Or maybe it's this right here.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of always on FOMC day, it's fade the first move. And I think this is your first move, right? Yeah, it is. Wow. I mean, pretty dramatic response. No, wait, is this your first move? This might be it. Either way, like it instantly sent for like all of 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then immediately started dumping. And it was a very short consolidation before we got the dump. At that time, Gunny, our fearless leader, Gunny of Hxro, put in the pit, hey, I'm hearing that 2 major funds are getting out of crypto entirely.
Hearing things.
I'm hearing things, yeah. So kind of let's go down the line and just get everyone's sort of market overview opinion given all these facts that we've presented. Start with you, Jedi. What do you think?
It's actually, for me, it's a really difficult one to call. I actually have no idea, dude. Like it's such a black box at the moment with what's going on, like particularly with TradFi. Like there's obviously that certainty that things are going up. I mean, I'll ask a question to kind of illustrate why I'm a little bit confused. What do you think MicroStrategy is doing right now? Just take a guess.
DCAing.
Yeah, buying more.
No, I'm talking about
MicroStrategy,
the company itself. What do you think it's doing?
I know, yeah, because they're kind of
nuking?
in between. You would think they'd be nuking, but I bet they're in between. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, they're doing okay right now.
Not terrible.
S&P's holding them up, I guess. They're a tech stock.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it's I find it quite interesting that that's happening. I mean, it is almost predictable, but I would also have said, well, surely it would follow the same route that Bitcoin is following, but obviously it's not. So that correlation is still very strong. In terms of kind of like the higher time frame, I think things are going to get worse before they get better. I don't think this is the bottom. Why do I think that? Because it seems like there's just hasn't been enough pain and suffering. That's the feeling I get.
Yeah.
It hasn't been enough time.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to add something about the top with the foundation selling. They basically literally sold like the actual top, right? Like 2100 or like, so at that point I was thinking like, I don't need to overthink this. I don't need to be a smartass. I don't need to think about TA. I don't need to think about anything. They're selling. So I'm selling. Like I'm selling my Ethereum. Like,
yeah. I mean, they literally sold this top too, right? They sold 4K.
They sold the last 2 tops and
the last 2 tops.
48.91. I didn't know it got that high.
The argument people were making is that before that, in like 2018, 2017, they were not selling tops. So they're saying it's random. But you can easily say that they got better with time. Like, come on. Like, they have people managing their funds now. They're way bigger
it could be
now.
the case that the market has synced to their behavior. Right? Like
I mean, before that, it wasn't correlated. Like they sold on the way up. They sold like 100 or 200. I mean, they sold way below the top in 2018. You can just say they got better at it. Like they have way bigger people managing their funds now. They're way
We need to
bigger.
find out
I
what paid
do
group
agree
the
it's a
pay-
double. I do
Go
agree
ahead.
it's a double-edged sword though, because like I think back then, you know, not everyone was following crypto for like, you know, news-driven events.
Right.
And now crypto is like pretty much a news-driven asset class. And, you know, everyone is basically agreeing that shit, these guys are selling, we're all going to sell too. Whereas before,
Right.
you know, you didn't have like everyone combing, you know, Twitter through for, you know, signals like that.
We need to find out what paid group Vitalik joined.
Yeah, I mean the ratio still had a nice bump after they sold, right? I mean it went
Sure.
from like 0.0062 to like 0.007. But yeah, you don't need to overthink it.
Yeah.
If they sell, just sell.
Where do you, Jedi, where do you think we're headed?
I think just in terms of the levels that you've got going, that 21 level, I think that's a significant one, and that's more than likely going to happen. And then obviously the big alarm bell is, do we go to that 19 level? I think 21, 22, and then a long-term consolidation around there.
Yeah.
But I see that, like the news that's been floating around today, which I think is quite significant, is that Celsius is looking to sell BTC and ETH in order to recover customer funds.
And
Are they selling? I thought they were selling alts specifically first or something.
I have a tweet about that pulled up from Hxro.
Correct. You are correct. My apologies. So it looks like Celsius will be selling the customer alts into BTC and ETH.
Cardano, Matic, and Sol.
So great time to long Sol.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, let's look at the Sol chart.
Yeah, it never got to those deviations.
No.
Nope. Too weak. Holy shit. It really nuked.
Yeah, dude. It's really taking bullets at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like 4 streams ago. I was like, or around then in the pit, maybe. I was like, double bottom on BTC, new lows on alts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not as confident on that double bottom, but I'm pretty confident about new lows on alts.
What are your feelings around where BTC goes now, Circa?
I just don't see it being super easy for shorters is the one thing. Like, you got huge demand zones here. I mean, a lot of volume. So this is sticky. Like, everything between 24,281 and that 21 level to me is sticky. I think 19 is flimsy. And there's a huge thin auction here / fair value gap that just never got filled on that final nuke, acted as support. So I think if it gets below 21, I think it's going to the bottom area, like this area.
Okay.
But I really don't know. I don't think it's going to be easy for shorts, and I think we're going to get at least some rips. There's going to be some we're so backs between now and the bottom.
You don't think the bottom was like forced selling from FTX, like something that isn't going to be visited again?
Well, here's the thing. If that were true, right? Like, oh, no more sellers left, so now it's up only. Why are we now getting voluntary sellers at such a shallow level?
Well, I mean the actual bottom, like 16K. I mean now.
No, that's what I mean. Is like,
you know, profit.
The argument was, okay, 4 sellers, 3AC. Is this 3AC or is this 3AC?
It was probably May. I don't think it was June.
Right. So 3AC. Then you got your Celsius Voyager. Then you got your FTX. Right. This is all forced selling. And the argument being that like this wouldn't have happened if we didn't get all this forced selling. Okay. Now since here, we've had multiple funds exit with reportedly from Gunny 2 more voluntarily, not forced. So why are we getting voluntary exits below the levels where forced selling started? To me, that means
I
like
mean, the
there's
obvious
more
answer is the SEC stuff. People
right,
are
right. So it's a form of like forced selling / like soft
kind
force.
of, yeah.
Yeah. But like to me, that states that like we could easily get down here again because it wasn't some you know, unfathomable externality that brought us below these levels. You know. That's what I think.
I remember before FTX happened, like a month or two, like I felt like that was the bottom, and I went in, and then it actually went up to like what 22K or something, and then FTX happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But it genuinely was feeling like the bottom is kind of in at that range.
It's just like also there's no bottom that looks like that, right? Like there's no bottom.
Yeah, everyone
like,
thought it's not gonna go below 20K, and that felt like it's obviously going to go a bit below, just to BTFO all those people.
Right. Well, also, yeah, the narrative forever on Bitcoin has been, oh, it never goes below.
And then you know it went to 18K, 19K, and that made sense in my head.
Yeah, yeah. Don Alt bought this 17, so he bought the first support here, then he bought this, and then we got our summer rally, the Gamjeet rally, as I like to call it, and and yeah, like then we obviously went lower, and to me, it's always like, all of the things that they said it can't do, it did. All of the previous assumptions about previous cycles have been shattered, including blow off top, you know, lengthening cycles, never go below previous cycles ATH. Like these are all shattered. And now it seems like we don't have a whole lot to rest on in terms of historical precedent. The one thing that I'm resting on is like, there's no bottoms. This is the price bottom, but it's not like the end of the bear market, right? Because this was bearish. This COVID crash was bearish. And if you go on Bitstamp and you look at more history, like there's never been this quick a like bottom where it's like, oh, we're not going to have any more 70% corrections until the next bear market. So I do think we could correct 70% here easily.
That's big.
What? That would be big.
People plus, I have to win that bet with the MG.
Did you say 50% for his bet, for the bet?
40% in a 24-hour period.
Okay, yeah.
But that's kind of what I see. I think the regulatory shit is going to be our second bottom. It's going to be the catalyst for all of these venture exits.
Agreed.
And yeah, it's just going to be the reason that we're not going to just avoid any major crashes. Here's Bitstamp, and just to go to this cycle over here,
I'd be cashing out some crypto into a bank if I was American before they close everything.
Yeah, 100%. The off ramps are at risk, and it's just gonna get. I think it's gonna get worse. But like, look at this bear market, dude. This is fucking agonizing. And like,
that's when Ethereum came to be.
Yeah. No, Ethereum existed, didn't it? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like, look at how much time you had to buy this, right? Like, here's our true bottom. Here's our kind of like second bottom. You had like nearly a full year to buy in a like 50% range of that. So yeah, I just don't, like there are no touch and go, bear bottoms on this chart. They're all like, you're going to spend some time down here.
Definitely. This is like, if you pay attention to what all the OGs talk about that have done 2 or 3 cycles, the one resounding thing that they will all agree on is that when a bottom is in, it sits there for a long time, and it doesn't sit there for a week, it doesn't sit there for a month, it sits there for several months, and it can even sit there for years. So don't be worrying about the DCA and all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, I don't think it's something that you need to worry about. I think it's something that you It's you got to learn from the lessons that others have learned, and that lesson is chill, wait. It will reveal itself, and then you can start loading up.
I think that the more lengthy opportunity you had to buy the lowest prices was this. I think the next one's going to be sharp.
You think?
Yeah, and maybe that's just like
sharp. What do you mean?
I mean this sharp.
Like COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we must come back to that. It'll be really interesting to see. I think it's going to do the same as what it did towards the end of last year, like good maybe 2 to 6 months. It could be just 2 because we all know that September things really start getting interesting in the markets in general.
Yeah.
If you look at historical, and I don't think it's going to be different this year. I think it's going to do very similar things to what it's done in the past.
Yeah.
I don't like how often I hear that from people, though. Like, even from quote-unquote normie circles, everyone is confident that 2024 is going to be like a bull market. And that really reminds me of back in 2021 when we were getting those price estimates for 2022, like Bitcoin 100K, like XRP $10.
I've been thinking it's crazy to hear that from you because you are my ultimate foil for any bearish action in the pit. But yeah, I've been thinking the same thing.
Mumu's advocate.
JC, what do you think plays out with BTC? I mean, like, not just in terms of a bottom here, but do you think it's going to be extended? Do you think it's going to be short? What are your feelings?
I think that 16K, 15K was the bottom. Like, I want to believe that. I'm pretty sure it is because of everything that happened that led to it, FTX especially.
Yeah.
Unless we the only real thing that can stop this whole thing, like crypto in general, and really reach a fucking nasty bottom, like a few, like 4,000 Bitcoin or whatever, is if they start really going hard, like not just banning off ramps, but banning like RPCs, like banning websites, like Cloudflare disconnecting websites. Like, I don't think they're gonna go that hard, but it's a possibility.
I don't think Gensler has enough goodwill to go that hard. I don't like it within his own, competence hierarchy. Like, I don't think there's enough people behind Gensler for him to just like go full regalia.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, with Bitcoin, I mean, it could get boring for a long time to phase people out of it, to steal as much money as possible on this prolonged bottom from both longs and shorts.
What do you think about BlackRock applying for a Bitcoin ETF?
But that happened. They did that last year, didn't they? And now it's just that they're ready.
Also, like, enough people with like maybe not as much clout as BlackRock, but like not too far off, have tried and failed at that.
Exactly.
That it's almost a nothing burger. It's like, oh yeah, you want to join the graveyard of dead bodies who attempted this? Like, go ahead. Yeah, I think it's gonna take. Well, okay, so you got Gox still hasn't happened. There, I believe, is still some government selling. You have FTX liquidation of all assets. You have like Celsius and Voyager are obviously ongoing. So, and then you have funds getting out because of regulatory pressures. I think all of that brings us down to this shelf here.
Yeah, I'd say 20K is possible, 19K is possible.
Yeah.
And then I think catalysts that have nothing to do with any of this bring us for a scary low.
Liquidity drain from.
Yeah, the liquidity drain.
Yeah.
The thesis is strong if you only have crypto charts, but if you have SPX charts too, then it's hard to say that liquidity drain is causing this.
Yep. Well, yeah, that means it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's bearish.
Yeah, when Yellen starts selling bonds, that's going to be tough.
But are they going to be able to sell now that they're suing Coinbase, who is apparently their custodian?
Who?
Coinbase is the U.S. government's custodian on these.
No, I'm talking about Yellen selling bonds.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because Yellen has to refill $700 billion in Treasury General account or some such shit. And that's just to refill the account, much less to actually raise the money needed to fund the government. So that's gonna be huge. Yeah, I don't know. I just
There's
think
also the Ethereum Mexico.
yeah,
that Ethereum is going to be adopted more by institutions than Bitcoin.
yeah, I don't know about that, dude. I really don't. Because like,
What's
as
yeah? What's
excited as
going on with that? What's the pitch there? Why?
Well, it's deflationary right now since the merge. It provides you with a consistent income stream from network usage. It could be pitched.
Yeah, and block space has its inherent value for reasons that are not self-referential.
Yeah, what I don't like is, in general, there's a lot of people in Ethereum, like the really OG bulls, that are super bullish on it. They have thousands of Ethereum staked. But in the end of the day, what all that powers is these scams, like all the ERC scams, all these rugs. And they themselves, these bulls, don't really use the chain that much. Like these are like the OGs that only
it's not a great sign when the most wealthy and experienced people in your industry are the most skeptical of it.
Yeah, maybe they use like Curve or something, but a lot of their Ethereum is not even like, they don't even use the EVMs. They just stake it and the beacon chain.
You know what is the scenario that nobody expects, even the bearish people, is this. If we deviated this low, I don't think there's anyone who anticipates that. Except for like people who are like just overboard, like, you know, calling for 12K and shit. And like when a scenario is only represented by the smallest segment of market participants who nobody takes seriously, like that makes me think it could happen. I also like the thought that you had, JC, about like, you know, we're kind of not guaranteed at 2024 having bull run, and it would be max cuck if that didn't happen.
Too many people are confident on it.
To that point, too many people are confident because we just had Pepe still. You know, we're still like kind of recently at the top of this ridiculous bear rally, and the S&P is popping off. NVIDIA is about to hit 3 trillion. So of course, people are saying, you know, 2024. Oh yeah, of course we're going to be back on in another 3 months, another 6 months, when, you know, no one has a job and you know, they're all living in a tent under a bridge together. They're not going to be claiming that 2024 is going to be a great year for a bull market. They're going to be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
You're going to be making dividends from NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask you to do something for me, just out of interest, because it's just like you talked about deflationary. I sent a link in chat here. Just open that DeFi Llama link and take a look at the most valued unlocks that happen on a daily basis. So just do unlocks per day. Yep.
They put Bitcoin on
there. That's funny.
I find this really interesting because if you look at the top 10, you know, you've got all these beasts up there, and check it Radiant. It's 210 grand a day. Like these are, you got to like pay attention to this. This is like, you know, if you're doing an investment thesis, ladies and gentlemen, you need to come to this and you need to take a good hard look at inflationary value versus you being a bag holder, and then do the math.
Agreed. But I think context matters as well. Like OP, for example, everyone, you know, they had that massive unlock. Everyone expects it to just like nuke, and you know, it doesn't. Because it's not. I think if like a project is massive and they have like, how I like to think about it is, do they need do the devs need this coin to pump and to be a leader in 2024 and beyond? And if the answer is yes, then I imagine they'll incentivize their investors to not just dump it to zero during the bear market. You know what I mean? Something like an RDNT, it's probably more likely to go to zero, but something like an ARB or an OP, I wouldn't just be like shorting into the unlocks during the bear,
Yeah.
By the way, look at GMX. Look at the chart. It's actually held up nicely on this last dump.
Yeah, but that's because it's had a 60% drawdown prior.
Yeah, it had a big drop. Like the very last dump, like the $100 dump of Ethereum from like 1740 to 1640. It held at the $45 range.
Where would you say, from a charting perspective, Circa would be a good place to buy? Is it on that 36?
I don't have all the data on it. I'll bet it's on KuCoin is the best data.
I think Arthur bought at 45 just now, like a couple of days ago. Arthur Hayes.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Is he buying looks too?
Dude, looks is an awful chart. We'll go to that.
Yeah.
I know. I would say like below 45 historically has been pretty good for buying GMX. But like, I want this. I want lower than this. I want like 20. I want max blood,
Yeah.
I think we might see it with alts, the way that the dominance on Bitcoin is growing. Obviously, Ben Cohen has got a raging hard on over that.
Can we just say Ben Cowen was right? Like, how many times does the guy have to call it perfectly before people give the man some credit?
He wasn't right. What was he right about?
He was right when myself included, when everyone was like, "Oh, alt season's finally here." He was like, "BTCD is just going to keep rocketing higher," and everyone was like, "You're an idiot. You're a LARP."
Well, he was getting euphoric.
No, but hold on a second. Let's just let's be very clear about something. There were X's made in that bear market rally, where while Ben Cohen was sitting with his thumb up his ass, people were literally printing on the way up whilst he was talking about dominance. Guys have cashed out, dude. That's why we're nuking right now. They've cashed out. Guys obviously bought the top. Exactly. Now all of a sudden he's right. Bullshit, bro. It's like, this is the order of things.
He's just a hard guy for me to like fade his investment.
We're going to go down to the bottom again. We're going to accumulate, and then we're going to do fucking 20, 30, 40 X's whilst Ben talks about dominance again.
And we had an alt season in January, in February, January.
Dude. Yeah.
I agree with all that. Well, yeah, we didn't have a true alt season, which is like BTC does nothing, alts go insane.
Yeah, but come on, it doesn't have to be that easy. I mean, it was pretty easy.
I'll say this. If only 10% of alts are outperforming BTC, that's not really an alt season.
I consider it an alt season if it's easy enough for you to zone in on what's pumping, and it was pretty easy.
So I think
but hold on, wait, for context, because I'm going to support you on this one, Circa. You are correct in what it is that you're saying. And JC, you are also correct, but you need to understand that you are the exception to the rule, because this is what you do, bro. Like, you're in the trenches. Like, you're in the trenches, and you are like fucking mega paying attention to this stuff. If you some dude sitting in his day job, because there's still a lot of dudes that are still gambling in this whole thing and are sitting in a day job. That's cool, but they're not going to pick up on that shit, dude. They're buying GMX and they're buying Cardano and XRP and getting their asses handed to them.
Yeah, it's not like a full normie alt season.
No. Dude.
Yeah, I agree. Like he's obviously got a massive audience, and 99% of his audience needed to hear "don't buy alts," probably. And I think we're like the 0.01%. We're like, oh, like you're an idiot because we can still make money, but he's not really talking to us.
But also, it's very tough to do so. Like, it wasn't exactly like the easiest conditions ever. I know it seemed like it, but like it wasn't. Like, because we still got deep corrections that came out of nowhere. Like it just wasn't easy mode like
Yeah,
this was freaking easy.
I don't think
mode.
it was easy.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I don't.
So who are the top performers yet? Can you zoom in on this thing and give us perspective, please, sir?
The top performers to the downside.
No, just top performers to whatever it is that we're looking at. Is this downside?
Looks is the top to the downside.
Yeah, for real, dude. Looks has been obliterated, dude. Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy to look at because this matters where we're anchoring from. CFX is still well above what it was in December. CFX is still a 5.3x from where it was in December. Render is still a 3x. Inge is still a 2.5. FET's still a 2x. Floki's still a 1.5. We got room to go.
Agreed.
Dude, looks is the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Let's look at looks. Dude, this is the future of Blur, just so you know. Like, this is where Blur is headed, is right here.
Oh, that's a horrible chart.
Yeah, it's tough.
And you do know that it's going to sit there for a very long time to come.
I don't know. Like, did NFTs do anything like compared to last bull during this rally?
Only Miladies and anything adjacent to them.
But Miladies wasn't even like last bull because like in the span of less than a year, Bored Ape went from nothing free, like nearly free mint to like 100.
Yeah, I got like a what was it? Like on Remilios, it was like 0.2 to like 1.7. It's decent. It's pretty good. Yeah. But it's not like 100x.
You know what's doing really well was a great launch, and in my opinion, one of the best NFT launches ever are the llamas. And there's obviously utility there with them and relevance with the CRV ecosystem. They've gone up in value, dude. They've gone up in value since their auctions ended. They're actually increasing in value with times at the moment, which is quite surprising actually, because people like to dump the NFTs, whereas these ones seem to be holding value, which is really cool to see.
Let me just get all this off. So CRV, dude, my main man, Michael Egorov, close to liquidation. For those of you who don't know,
he's not close. He's got a health factor of like 1.5.
That's what people are saying. I know he's not close.
Yeah. He's nowhere near close, bro.
How much is that? 25% down to liquidate?
I think it needs to go to 22 cents for him to get liquidated. That's what we worked. We did a stream this morning, and that was roughly the.
Yeah, we'd need new all-time lows, right?
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Curve, one of my favorites in terms of actual protocols, because it's easy for me to tell someone, relatively easy for me to tell someone why it's valuable in this ecosystem of crypto. And yeah, it's looking rough, and Michael Egorov, the founder of Curve, has borrowed $67 million against his
Or what? Let me link you I'm gonna link you the wallet, and then we can see.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. There's two,
because he used every platform basically that he can.
Yeah, he's basically done multiples, not just one. The 67 is one of,
and he's not getting yield on that Curve either, is he?
Like 0.something%.
Yeah, not much.
He has a shitload of Curve locks too.
Yeah, like 100 million or something.
Yeah.
On this
the value of his wallet's at 215 mil, I think, round about that.
Yeah. On this wallet, he has less than 100 mil locked, almost 100, I guess, like 80-ish.
What wallet?
The one I linked to you on Discord.
Oh, nice. Let's pull it up.
Also, if you think he's not okay, with getting liquidated, what do you think are his long-term plans with this?
I don't know, dude. I mean, it made me think about, like, is Curve USD an exit mechanism for Curve whales? Yeah, he's got 50
So
million.
he's done Abra as well. You'd be very happy to see that. Scroll down, you'll see he's also done some shenanigans with Abra. There we go. That's his 60 mil CRV, 36 mil on the table, and then MIM as well. Yeah. This is the big boy. This is a big boy wallet for all the viewers and listeners. This is what big boy wallets look like, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, people forget Michael Egorov was like DeFi summer Chad.
Absolutely.
And got tired of swapping stables with max slippage, and so he made Curve. So did the math spurgiest thing you could do to fix like a frustration he had with swapping stables.
Yep.
So he's not an easy fade. Inverse finance still exists. That's crazy.
Dollar.
Yeah, what a crap stable. Stake down. Wow, he really went ham, huh?
Yeah, man.
CVX.
So Grant had a little bit of a conspiracy theory going about, like, you know, a couple of VCs feeling butthurt around some arrangement that happened that they weren't included in, and no one has ever reported about a founder buying a house anywhere in the world ever. But then all of a sudden, the block.
No, they didn't. They
synthetics guy.
Yeah, and Suzu, and
Oh, did they? Okay, so there goes that conspiracy theory out there.
I think synthetics was also in Australia, so that's the joke about DeFi founders holding up the Australian real estate.
Well, the Stepan CEOs bought a house in Australia as well, and I think there's another one. There's a couple of them, dude.
Wow, CVX is. I need to start buying CVX.
Yeah, CVX. I'm looking at like $2 for CVX.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
So, Circa, what do you think about Try Crypto? You're not into that anymore?
No, because I just rather get. I feel like I'm better at market timing than I was when I was a Try Crypto maxi.
Mm-hmm.
And you also discovered Tapioca DAO.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like if I needed to be hands off, I would go Try Crypto 100%.
I kind of like having a mix of positions, like some hands off and some hands on.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You're diversified between your digital Ponzi's.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jewbacca, what do you think happens next? We got Jedi. What's the next 6 months for you?
Yeah, so I'm on your side in the sense of, like, I don't think shorters are going to have it easy. I think we had this was the easy move, the short up until now. Yeah. And I don't think it's easy. I think we go lower. I could see with enough regulatory FUD, I agree we could potentially breach the FTX lows. I think it would take a lot, but I wouldn't bank on it. I mean, even right now for some alts, like I'm ready to farm, like Joe and Arb, they're at prices right now that, I would be totally happy with taking, if I needed to take another 50% haircut on, some mega nuke, then, I don't mind doing it, because I think, once the market recovers, it's not going to take that long for them to catch back up. So I think we're kind of in a spot where if you're looking to farm, it's a great spot to start building a position. So
yeah. If this were a 1 minute chart, I would have limits here, here, and here.
That's why you put those levels there, dude. It's a good call, you could get like a fucking lightsaber nuke all the way down there, and you could pick up some really good deals, and within a day or two you're fucking way up,
Yeah. If I can just repeat what I did last cycle, that'd be ideal. I want this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're already farming. Does that mean you're farming with stables, or you're going to start buying into positions in those coins?
Oh no, I'm going to look into buying into positions, providing liquidity, etc. So yeah, on pairs that I'm bullish on.
Okay, and that's Joe Arb. Why Joe?
Well,
Joe's
I mean,
kick ass,
Joe,
dude.
yeah, Joe, they just released auto pools. Their optimization of like
They
liquidity
actually
management
chads.
is,
They
yeah, it's
fucking
like
chads.
gigabrained.
Yeah, dude, those guys, they managed to survive Alameda. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means, Alameda came and farmed the living daylights out of Avalanche and bent Joe over the barrel and had their way with them for fucking months. And they still managed to survive it. And they reinvented themselves with the stable pools that they put up on Avalanche. Then they moved to Arbitrum and did a whole rework around the way that this thing actually works, functions. And they made yet more changes. Now they're a launch pad in the making. They're going to smash it. They are definitely worth betting on.
Yeah, I mean, they were first to several features that like Uniswap is like being praised for now.
Yes.
They've had those out for like months.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I think they're like the leaders in DEX liquidity. So
moving to Arbitrum helped them a lot.
For sure.
That was a very big move. That's the thing. A lot of I mean, that's bang on, dude. I mean, you look at like a really good team that I totally rate, and that's the Maya DAO guys. They're on Metis.
Yep.
I mean, Metis it's a dead chain, whereas these guys have managed to actually do something there. They've built formal protocols, and they're like finally moving to fucking Arbitrum. It's like finally.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and it's great news because I think they're going to do exceptionally well. They're probably like one of the few that actually got the VE33 right. I think they have anyways. And they're just super on it, you know, and they're good lads as well. They're definitely the real deal in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got Maya on my farm list too after I remember you mentioning that.
JC, I don't know if we ever got your sort of outlook for the rest of the year, or we did in bits and pieces. But
what are you looking to buy, JC? Are you denominating your entire portfolio in Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu, or are you doing like a 60-40 to Voldemort 69 Pepe? Like this is what I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I'm still bag holding the BSC version, and I'm talking to the devs so they can make a bridge.
So is Circa.
Dude, let me know if you get that.
It's worth anything. Yeah, I'm so disappointed that I missed out the launch on Ethereum.
So pissed.
I was just holding it passively. You know, I knew it's gonna wake up someday, and then they made a new coin.
And you're right, but they just launched a new one.
Yeah, and their community is insane. Like, it's still doing its own thing over there, but it might die out soon. I don't know. But anyway, the overall outlook for Bitcoin it's hard to tell. Besides that, I don't.
What are you looking to accumulate? Like, what
I
are
think the bottom is in. I'm looking at GMX. I'm looking at GMX because they're coming up with V2 soon, and they're
doing away with GLP, right?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna keep V1, so GLP is still gonna exist, but it's not gonna be a part of V2. V2 is gonna have separate pools for everything. I'm looking at it because it's one of the only genuinely useful protocols in DeFi. Besides that, I'm a part of the Premia DAO, which is an options platform, and they're coming with V3 soon. They have actually. Let me give you a quick chill on what's going on now. I'm gonna link you the trading competition. So they have like a
dude.
Yeah, part of the government. Okay, so they have a trading competition now that's on the testnet. So it's paper trading, but it has real prizes. Like I think the total prize pool is like 170k USDC worth. Maybe a mix of USDC and Premia tokens. It's basically you use the V3 platform. There's all kinds of new features like concentrated liquidity, which means you can pull liquidity for options in a specific range, kind of like Uniswap V3, but for options. You can also, it's gonna be permissionless pool, so you can make it. You can make pools for any coin, but right now on the competition, it's just Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDC, and Arbitrum.
Premia Finance, huh, friend?
you should go to the link I sent you, the Academy one, or premia.blue. That's where the new stuff is. Yeah. So that's the Academy. You need to do this competition initiate course, and then it's gonna give you like a testnet Ethereum, and then it's gonna give you testnet wrapped Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, and Arbitrum. And then if you go to premia.blue, you can start participating in that. And I think there's gonna be prizes even if you don't do well. There's like meme prizes for like the worst performer, I think. And then there's like random quests for XP, and you can get game codes. There's all kinds of stuff they organize. So the link on the very top, like the bar, yeah, that's it. So over here, if after you do that exam, you can connect here from the testnet, and then you can get your testnet tokens to start. And the competition ends in like 1 month from now.
Wow.
So Circa, you should get going, get on the leaderboard.
I don't think I will, friend, but it is interesting. I'm not a big options guy.
So I think
it's a bit complicated.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
JC,
I have to read all this just to join the
You've never traded options?
No. Well, yeah,
options,
I have,
dude.
but not a whole lot.
You'd love them. I can't believe you're not trading them actively. It's so down your street, dude.
It could be a form of hedging for you. I mean, you could like it.
Yeah,
I think he would. I think he'd love it. It's complex enough for him. It's exactly what he should be doing, to be honest. So this. I've been chatting about this whole idea of a DEX war. At some point, there's going to be like DEX wars, because obviously, central exchanges have been absolutely dismal over the last 2 years. Over the last year, particularly, we know this. We've seen it. We've seen Binance is. We haven't actually spoken about Binance today, and maybe we should, because I think it's just buying into this whole thing that central exchanges just are shit overall, But then the argument is that so are DEXs. Overall, DEXs aren't the greatest trading experience. There's too much to do. There's too much to focus on. You can't just get on with it. But what's interesting about this whole thing is that GMX is doing version 2 for a very good reason, because you've got to make the whole DEX experience something that competes and is not even that could potentially be better than central exchanges. And I think what's happening right now is that's exactly what's top of mind. You've got some insane freaking DEXs coming out that are doing the whole thing really well. Obviously, liquidity is the biggest challenge, and they seem to be solving that problem as well. I mean, ones that come to mind, Vertex, you've got Unstoppable, you've got Vela, you've got GMX version 2, you've got MUX, and there's a whole lot of others that I forget now. But I think we're going to reach a point where it's going to be like, we're going to be spoiled for choice. There's going to be like 20 of them, and they're all going to have synthetics. They're going to all have everything that you could possibly imagine, from options to, you name it, stocks, the whole 9 yards. And it's just going to land up being fucking blissful being a DJ on chain. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And Tapioca is doing the whole layer 0 trading between chains, right?
Well, they're doing liquidity. So it's borrowing and lending across. So essentially the CRV model could potentially be replaced with what they are doing, and provisioning liquidity across all chains with a click of a button. I mean, you can do it now. They're in third phase of their beta. It's pretty ridiculous, bro. It's like, it's all happening there. LSDs will come into play there as well. The whole dynamic, everything kind of gravitates towards one thing, and that's moving coin across chains without any resistance whatsoever.
Yeah.
We had a whole GMX fork season in like January, February. That was when Gains Network pumped, like listed on Binance. Yeah. Vela that you just mentioned, Vela.
Yeah.
Metavolt moved from Polygon to Arbitrum. I think they're a good DEX as well. They just haven't had much traction. There's a couple. There's some really, really
Quanta.
good ones.
Also,
Yeah.
those the
Quant is a big
casino
one.
coins that like rugged, like Arcadium and another one, they were using kind of the GMX model, but applied to like a casino, where you can be the house in the casino. But they're gone. I think they rugged.
Yeah, I think that it feels like there's like, it feels like we won't actually get our real narratives until like near the halving and after.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something tells me I'd be better off buying great prices on some alts that performed well here, like Lido, Render, Inge, CFX, like all the top performers, STG, STX. And then, but like keeping that small and then just trying to get as big a safe and levered bag of BTC as I can, and then waiting until we get past here before I start thinking about narratives and like playing alts. Because certainly, like, if you had just been BTC from COVID crash to this peak, and then you had just focused on alt season things once we got past this, then that was like peak performance almost. Risk adjusted.
No way.
I think the actual biggest normie alt season was in the early half of 2021. Like that's when Dogecoin.
Cardano did like 100x, right?
That's when SHIB did like a 24,000x.
Cardano was one of my best trades over that period. It was insane.
Yeah, there's some real normie coins.
I think that was kind of the real top, and then
and YFI too.
The second top was for us. It was like for crypto natives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Just bring up Binance chart, please, gentlemen, because I think this is very relevant.
Oh,
this is quite a relevant kind of occasion with what's happening at the moment, and we've got a liquidation sitting at 220 with a serious amount that's at play here, and CZ at the moment is in trouble.
Yeah, what's everyone's take on that? This is a great way to maybe we kind of close out the sesh with this discussion. But yeah, I mean, is this just another Sam and Caroline trying to defend their what was it, $20?
That was so pathetic. When she made that tweet, it was so obviously
so dumb. Yeah.
When who made what tweet?
Caroline, sell me all the FTT you had, $20.
She's a sharp cookie, huh?
Yeah.
Carolyn Ellison.
They don't let just anyone on Arthur.
I think it is weird as fuck that BNB is at all useful or relevant to anyone ever. It's weird.
It's the same as what FTX was, dude.
It's gas on the.
Well, it's better than FTT.
Yeah,
it's gas on the Getus G chain that has ever existed.
It doesn't. There aren't even any big scams anymore on BSC. Like it's dead. Like it's not.
If Avalanche is dollar store, fucking BNB is Skid Row.
Oh man,
both are dead though. I mean, they
screenshot
really
this tweet.
Avalanche is absolutely a desert.
Yeah. No, but
so,
that desert is a I don't know, metropolis compared to what BSC is.
Yeah, dude. Pancake swap, give me a friggin' break.
No, they're both dead. They're both not relevant.
Yeah, so I think I think that I think that the regulatory pressures with Binance are more serious than.
Dude, I got rugged on BSC on their Avi fork, like the official one from Binance called Venus. Like back in early 2021, someone manipulated the token XVS because it was only listed on Binance and nowhere else. So they manipulated from like 150 to like $20 or something. I don't know. And I got rugged because of that. They have like bad debt. They still have bad debt. They have like millions and millions of bad debt.
Yeah. So somebody tells me Binance is it's got internal problems that are more serious than I think anyone anticipates, except for like doomers.
No accounting firm would touch them.
Yeah. I think the Doomers are right with Binance. The Doomers were right with FTX. I think they're right with Binance.
How right?
The right dog.
I mean, like, you know, what level of right? I mean, are they going to shut down?
I think
How, you know, what
Binance
percentage of
exists
assets?
outside of the regulatory scrutiny environment that FTX did as a U.S. company.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're as at risk of like having to like show any form of insolvency.
Yeah.
I think they got a lot of options to get out of whatever they're in.
But I also think they are less insolvent than FTX.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But if Binance does go down, then that would be what sends us like below
easily new lows. Yeah.
Below the previous bottom. Yeah.
If Binance goes down, gentlemen, I think we go 10K without even flinching.
Oh, easy.
Maybe below. Maybe even below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if Binance does what FTX did, we're going below 10K, dude.
I agree.
Yeah. We do not
if it's true that they were using BUSD to buy Bitcoin and then selling into USDT and then buying BNB, that's end of day shit right there. That is FTX style collapse.
It is.
I don't know.
Let's hope they didn't do that. We do not want these guys to go down. I repeat, we do not want them to go down.
I think you kind of do, just because just because of the opportunity it would present, and also the how it would uncomplicate so much of this.
Is it as much of an opportunity if the ceiling is going to be capped after something like that happens? I think that caps your gains for a very long time.
It's gonna be only Kraken left.
I think it significantly uprates the value of decentralization.
Yeah.
The thing is though that I think that you're 100% right with that logic. My fear is that the fallout is so great that it almost becomes like Jewbacca says, it's like we don't recover for like a fucking long time, and that's not what we need. You know what I mean? We actually don't need that. I would much rather DeFi takes and climbs into its own without Binance having to do this. I think it's just going to be healthier for the whole.
Binance is really the main interface for crypto for most people in most of the world. I think.
Absolutely. I would prefer that it didn't, to be honest, even though I'm all the way DeFi. I mean, I'm a DeFi maxi. It's the place to be, but at the same time, sure, dude, losing Binance would just be absolute devastation, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would be nuts.
I remember back in 2021, like when I was talking to people about like sending each other crypto and stuff like that, most people have no idea what even MetaMask is. They don't know what on-chain means. They think crypto equals Binance. Like, literally. Like it's like that.
It's pretty hilarious. I think I don't know. I think a lot of trust has been lost with Binance.
Agreed.
You know, on a more positive note, guys, something that we haven't actually, just quickly before we go, I don't know if you guys actually saw that Hxro tweet that went out during the course of this week in terms of all the freaking projects that they've been onboarding. Like,
it's nuts.
Up until
it's
nuts, dude. It's nuts.
I'm actually
kind of
very constructive on Hxro for the liquidity reason. Is like,
dude, it's like they are true to this whole ideology of like, let's just fucking get on with what we need to get on with. We want to build a network. We want to facilitate liquidity and provision protocols to come and play. And that's what they're doing, dude. They're like staying true to what it is that they said they were going to do. I fucking love them. I'm not just saying that because I'm wearing the cap and, you know, we are Hxro fucking crew in many ways, but it's like the dudes are fucking, they've delivered and they will keep on delivering. And I just fucking applaud them. It's not.
I think that liquidity fragmentation is more of a problem than it seems because we still have things like Binance. And I think that Hxro is right in their thesis that like you need to centralize liquidity as much as possible while remaining decentralized. So I'm constructive on Hxro for sure.
Yeah, they're about to onboard another DEX on Solana. You know, there's questions around Solana. I know there is, but the dudes are doing their thing. You know, will Solana have another bull run in the next bull? What do you guys think before we close?
I got
it
the
out?
Solana
I think they
phone.
will. Did you get it?
Oh
Did
yeah,
you really
that's
get
right.
one?
Yeah, I have
Jason
it.
did
Yeah,
get the Solana
Wow.
phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
it's a mixed bag. I like the build quality. It basically, like, the extra feature it has over a regular phone is like their seed wallet, which is like basically like having a ledger combined with a phone, but only for Solana.
Yeah.
I just got it because I like experimental crap and like checking out new stuff. And
sure.
also the mints you get with it might cover the cost of the phone still. I'm yet to see that.
JC always considering that.
For sure, yeah. The airdrop potential, you gotta.
Yeah, you
factor that
gotta position yourself appropriately. Well,
yeah.
Whatever happens next, I think there's a lot of opportunity upcoming. If you can,
Yeah, I'm bullish on Solana. I think that a lot of the kind of like hatred and association with Sam is going to provide a really unique trading opportunity for next cycle. Obviously, you know, didn't hit our targets on this rally. A lot of shit didn't, but I think it's going to be a unique trading opportunity where you have a really active developer community and you have a lot of you know, investors that are going to say, and retail that are going to say, oh no, I don't want to touch that, and then they're going to be forced to buy it, you know, again at like 250. So
yeah, I'm interested. I think that I think that trading is going to be shit real soon. And I think for someone who's willing to just stay mentally checked out, but continue to place those buys at interesting levels, it's like, that's the strategy that I'm going with. It's like, try to keep my head out of it a lot and just wait for my levels and buy.
Another thing that could trigger like a black swan type event. I mean, we went over this, but we didn't really say it about the curve liquidation. Like, if he actually gets liquidated and if it actually sends to like 20 cents, that's gonna fuck up DeFi. That's gonna that's gonna be bad.
Yeah, what are the potential? Well, it'll make it a lot easier to gain voting power in Curve, which will make it, well, no, I don't know.
The APR in Curve is the tokens you get are not adjusted for their dollar value. They're just
right. Yeah,
you're just getting Curve. So a lot less people are gonna use Curve if Curve is worth like 10 cents.
And then the pegs of like, because DeFi requires that like your yearn USDC DAI, like all your wrappers and shit and pegs need to be maintained through Curve. And so if the liquidity's thin, a lot of those pegs are going to break, and then a lot of governance tokens are going to be at risk because the pegs they use to maintain their platform are going to be broken.
Yeah. Also, for governance stuff, if you guys don't know, you can use the website defywars.xyz. That shows you like the curve wars, convex, and all kinds of stuff like that.
Damn, I'll check that out. defywars.xyz. Well, gents, it's been a good chat. It's been good. I think that there's going to be a lot more interesting chats on the near-term horizon as well. So, you know, thank you guys so much for coming on. JC, let's have you back on as often as possible.
Yeah, I'll be happy.
Definitely a way different experience talking to you than seeing you post in the pit. So
it's engagement based.
Very much appreciated your thoughts, sir. And
Thank you.
We'll see all the rest of you next week on the pit.
All right.